Hi, my name's Fury, and I'm a queer poet from Melbourne. I have compiled some of my favourite queer poets for any of you who might be considering looking into it or might be interested in it. Number 1, Stacey and Chin.
Will I still be lesbian then? Or will the church or family finally convince me to marry some man with a smaller dick than the one my woman uses to afford me violent and multiple orgasms?
This was the second performance poet that I found on the internet. The first was Sarah Kay. By far my favorite. It was such a good introduction. She came out on stage with this energy that sort of bowls you over. She's kind of aggressive, but in a really, really compelling way. So she's well worth a watch. Number 2, Buddy Wakefield, whom I didn't realize was gay. He mentions it in convenience stores, just as a side note. But yeah, he's gay and he is incredible.
We both know the smell of a convenience store at 4 a.m. like the backs of a lot of hands. She sells me trucker crack, many things. It's like Viagra, but she doesn't make me feel awkward about it. She can tell it's been a long drive and it's only gonna get longer. Offers me a free cup of coffee, but I never touch the stuff. Besides, I'm gonna need more speed than that.
His poetry is sort of like, you know, an acid trip. It's so surreal, and the images are just so far removed. The metaphors just make everything sort of clash and merge together. They're incredible. 3, Denice Frohman. Ugh, she makes my heart go.
Dear straight people, you're the reason we stay in the closet. You're the reason we even have a closet. I don't like closets, but you made the living room an unshared space, and I'm feeling like a guest in my own house.
She's really fierce in a really interesting sort of way. She's really straight up. Her poetry is very accessible, but really moving as well. So she's an awesome one to check out. 4, this is a pretty standard one. You can't get far into poetry, especially not queer poetry, without discovering Andrea Gibson.
Tonight in the grocery store, I found one of your hairs in my underwear. I pulled it out of the frozen food section and screamed, "That is so gorgeous, it could kill a man!"
Andrea Gibson is one of the most emotive poets that there is, I think. Again, her poetry is really accessible. It's all about, you know, accessing emotions and relationships. She said her love poetry is her political poetry, and her political poetry is her love poetry. And for me, that rings really true, because I feel the same about my own work. Number 5, snuck onto this list because I was only introduced to her recently, and that's Candy Royalle. Candy is fierce. I saw her perform at Slammer, and she sort of takes the stage like it was always hers. Do you know what I mean? One of my favourite Australian poets, and definitely my favourite Australian queer poet. She's well worth a look into. This is one of her quieter pieces. Not so political, more about relationships.
They're just fending off that tsunami of wasted emotions, you see. No one wants to be left alone in an ocean of surplus devotion, so they take turns watching each other flounder, as long as it protects them from ingesting gutfuls of salt water in the form of tears shed.
So yeah, that's my top 5. I hope they've made you a little bit more curious. Check out anything on YouTube, Button Poetry, Speakeasy NYC, anything from the Bowery Poetry Club. It's all good. Yeah, that's Fury signing out.